And tonight was the big night because this is the night where Joe Biden accepted the nomination from the Democratic Party. He officially becomes the guy. That's right. Today, he was not the nominee until today. Yeah, it's strange, right? Because everyone endorsed him way before he was the nominee. You know, he's like everybody, every newspaper, you know, way before when there were people running, they were like, Joe Biden's the guy. Jim Clyburn came out, that's Joe, and I know Joe, and you know Joe, and I know you dumb Negroes better vote for Joe, because Joe knows us, and I know where you live. I know your mama, I know your father, I know they owe me money. I know everybody on your block, son. Make me have to come down there. Technically, until today, it was all up in the air. Well, the convention was interesting, to say the least. I mean, there was a lot that happened. What we'd like to do now is to start by wrapping up day 4. There's some speakers.
Where are they going? Where are these ballots going? Who's getting them? Who is not getting them? A little section that's Republican. Will they be stolen from mailboxes as they get put in by the mailman?
Let me put this in my own words. I've heard Donald Trump say some pretty unhinged things. I've heard them over and over.
Now, I want to make something perfectly clear, man, here, okay? I like Sarah Cooper. I like the fact that she's racially ambiguous. I like it. It's cool. It goes good with Kamala. Great benchmarks. Is she black? Is she Indian, Asian? I don't know. She's talented. Maybe she'll be the next California Attorney General or something. The point is, I like Sarah Cooper, man. She's very funny, and I love the sketches on TikTok. But look, if you just played her TikTok videos as a little bit of comedy relief, I would have got that part. But you let her talk. If we're going to listen to a comedian, I suggest we have Dave Chappelle. We should have had Rashida Tlaib or Ilhan Omar, or I'd have taken Ayanna Presley at that point. Cory Bush, Jamal Bowman, come on. Nina Turner, Dr. Cornel West. Somebody political for real. Well, I think that, you know, when I do these TikToks of Trump, every time I do them, I just think how horrible Trump is. Oh, really? You do? Okay. Introspective. Never thought about that. Okay. But it wasn't just her. In fact, she's low-hanging fruit. Because she didn't choose herself. They chose her. So I'm not saying she's bad. Hey, if they'd have said Tim Black, you want to be on? I'd be like, yeah. But that would make them very incompetent, wouldn't it? So I'm not saying it's her fault. I'm saying it's them. Get what I'm saying? Twitter people. But that wasn't the only thing that got me pissed off, okay? It was many other things that got me pissed off, riled up as I watched this thing.
Hello, America. I'm Andrew Yang. You might know me as the guy who ran for president talking about math and the future. Unfortunately for all of us, that future is now. The pandemic has accelerated everything. If you're like me and my wife, Evelyn, you don't know if your child's school is going to reopen this fall. 72% of Americans believe that this is the worst time we have ever experienced. And 42% of the jobs that have been lost, millions of jobs, will never return. We are in a deep, dark hole, and we need leaders who will help us dig out. I know many politicians promise and then fail to deliver. If you voted for Trump or didn't vote at all back in 2016, I get it. Many of us have gotten tired of our leaders seeming far removed from our everyday lives.
You look, it's not that I have a problem that Andrew Yang spoke. I mean, he should speak. I mean, on balance, these are one of the better people to be chosen to speak because, I mean, he did actually run in the election. He did actually endorse Joe Biden early on. Said he had a conversation with Joe. So I get it. I understand it. I'm not saying there's something wrong with that. What I'm saying is Andrew Yang had a perfect opportunity to say something revolutionary, and he didn't. Yeah, he fell in line just like all the rest of the fallen liners. That's what he did. He's just saying whatever they told him to say. Opportunity, like Andrew Yang, you were proven right. UBI. It's even more important at this time than a federal jobs guarantee. I stand corrected. I thought people needed jobs. Now you've proven, hey, a job ain't so good if the job closes down. Now you got no job. So look, I get it. But you had an opportunity. You're there. You're there, man. This shit is live. And you know how I know it's live? Because when they let Yang speak, Yang didn't speak. He was like, so yeah, it's live. You could have said whatever you wanted. Of course, they would have cut your mic. You'd never be heard from again on CNN, but it would have been worth it because you would have liberated and spoke truth to power and rocked the hell out of the Matrix. But instead of rocking the hell out of the Matrix, Andrew Yang did what everyone else on that stage, everyone else given an opportunity has done. They said what was convenient, what was acceptable, what would help their career. And that's the problem I have. But, shut up, Siri. But there'll be more about that later. Then, this happened. A mayor spoke up who I knew was going to speak truth to power.
We know how important it is that we elect real leaders like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, people of honor and integrity who hold justice close to their hearts and believe that the lives of my 4 Black children matter. In the words of womanist poet Audre Lorde, your silence will not protect you. Congressman Lewis would not be silenced, and neither can we.
Another missed opportunity. She phoned it in too. And she phoned it in. She not only phoned it in, she phoned it in on a cheap-ass Sprint phone, a flip phone, on a Sprint network. She wasn't even on Verizon when she phoned that shit in, man. How do you explain it? Oh, the people of character like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. That's the best you got. You're on the national stage. You're alive. You can say whatever you want, sister. Stand up for the mayor. You're the mayor of ATL. Stand up. Say something revolutionary. You wouldn't even say Black Lives Matter. You said the mother of 4 children Black children who matter. I thought it was all the Black children. All the Black people matter. See how you tried to do it to avoid scrutiny? I'm disappointed, man. No one's taking a chance. No one's doing anything revolutionary at all. Once again, an opportunity. It presents itself. This is unprecedented. You only get this opportunity once every 4 years to be on a stage like this, all the Democrats watching, and for you to stick it to the Democrats and tell them, take care of the Black vote, take care of voters, take care of the poor, fight for the unions, something. Give Flint some fucking water that's not toxic, that's not killing the babies. What happened with Standing Rock? Why didn't you guys get on that sooner? Nah, instead what we got Andrew Yang, we got Keisha Lance Bottoms, all of them phoning it in and just getting along and going along to get along. That's really what the name of the show should have been tonight. Democrats, we go along to get along. None of us stand up for anything. You know, and look. So I'm upset. I'm watching this. I'm pissed off. I'm like, okay, no one's going to do anything revolutionary. No one's going to do anything. No one's going to say anything. I'm going to have to do a show talking about this, and there's nothing there. And then I saw this face, and I knew. I said, Tim Black, this man's going to redeem himself tonight. You're going to have to eat crow. And you know what? I was proud. I got my plate laid out. I grabbed my handkerchief, and I was ready to eat that crow.
I'm here because a union job lifted my family out of poverty and into the middle class. My grandfather left the Jim Crow South for Detroit, joined the UAW, and got a job on the assembly lines during World War II. That union job enabled him to support his family, raise my mom, and send her to Fisk University. That's the American dream. Together we work, together we rise. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris know the dignity of all working Americans. They know the urgency and the demand of our dream. But working people are under attack. The wealth gap grows, our middle class shrinks, and poverty persists. Last week, Donald Trump said, and I quote, "Our economy is doing good." while 40 million Americans are at risk of losing their homes. 30 million aren't getting enough to eat, and 5.4 million people have lost their health care because of this crisis. He has failed us. But still, I believe in the dream of our ancestors.
Cory Booker, you let me down again, brother. Yeah, but at least you're consistent. Hi, I'm Cory Booker. I'm here because my dad likes chocolate. My mom likes a little cream in her coffee. That's really why you're here, Cory. Oh, you're also here because I sold out the people of Newark when I was the mayor. I'm also here because my girlfriend's name is Rosario Dawson. And I'm a burly, light-skinned black man who's unintimidating, frankly. And we need more love. Or something like that. Once again, Cory Booker, you had an opportunity to redeem yourself. And what you do, brother? You say the safe thing. You stick to the script. You do what they tell you to do. You are free, Toby. Toby, you are free. You can be Kunta. Say that shit. Say it with your chest. Nobody wants to admit that the Democratic Party has been selling this out for generation after generation. You aren't allowing it to happen, Cory. You're enabling it. You're part of it happening. But I guess that's okay because you get a seat at the table, huh? It's fine with you that this party does nothing for black voters, but give them a little bit of time on stage to talk about their dead children. And then push them to the back. Make them a punchline or an anecdote in a story, a whimsical story of Joe Biden meeting someone in the elevator. Is that good enough, Cory Booker? That's not really good enough, Cory Booker. A story of how we should listen to the record player. What about all the things you said about Joe Biden when you were running against him? Basically called the guy a bigot. Now he's a messiah. See, either you were lying then or you're lying now. Nah. Why hold you to a higher scrutiny than I hold everyone else? Everybody's full of shit up there. I see no hope at all. None. Next up, okay. Next up was the part that really pissed me off. I mean, of course I wanted Booker to do better, but he's Cory. He's not going to do better. I resent that. And that was the part that really had me livid. Get angry just thinking about it.
We've got to do better to help our military kids.
The Bidens have a track record of helping military families, and we've seen it with their work that they've done with joining forces and how they were able to, rally a country behind us.
Men and women we send to war to defend our nation. Care for them and their families while they're gone, and care for them and their families when they come home.
It's one thing when you lie to voters, when you pretend that, like our elections aren't rigged. When you pretend that you don't disenfranchise voters during the primary to prop up institutional, elitist prospects or candidates handpicked by the establishment. It's okay. I mean, it's not okay, but I'm used to that. But when you go this low, we start calling Joe Biden a friend of veterans. Joe Biden is part of an administration that sent more young men and women into harm's way than any other administration in the last 30 years. I mean, when Joe Biden joined the Obama administration, that little thing you had that everyone waxes poetical about it, when they came into office, we were at war 2 places. By the time they left, we were in war 7 places. I don't know if you can count really good. I don't know what you got in calculus. I don't know if you know algebra, but you got to know 2 is less than 7. Joe Biden was part of an administration that dropped more bombs his first year than Bush dropped his entire first term. Joe Biden was part of an administration that sent more drones, record numbers amounts of drones. In fact, they called Obama the drone king. When you say Biden was sitting in that chair next to him where he bears the brunt of that, he shares the responsibility of that as well. If Barack Obama sat down and wrote a Dear John letter to every family of innocent people that were drone attack, collateral damage in the Middle East, 1 letter per day, he'd have to write a letter every day for 3 years. because that's how many people they accidentally killed in Middle East. But I know it don't matter because their names aren't Toby and Christian and Sarah or Karen. So it doesn't matter because they have brown names like Abdullah. So here's the deal, man. We're not going to lie. We're not going to continue to lie. And this is the thing. Even if our government lies, even if they put up this propaganda and Jill Biden lies, and everybody lies like a rug about our military, the working people in the rural sections of this country who time after time have went to war, come back, broken body, broken mind, broken spirit, you shouldn't lie to them. Where are the people telling the truth about our military-industrial complex and how it destroys lives? Not just abroad, at home, too. This is a country where we step over our vets on the way to the metro and we don't throw a quarter at them, but we're happy to build a space force. A space farce. It's despicable is what it is. A big slap in the face. How many poor white, black, Latino, Asian, Native American, indigenous people join the military because they don't have any job opportunities. They join because they want to be able to go to school and get an education and do something positive, and they end up in some godforsaken place putting holes in brown people. For what? It doesn't keep us any safer. In fact, there's an argument that it makes us less safe. It damn sure makes us less moral. But there was not one person willing to say that tonight. And they had a hot mic. You had a hot mic. You could have said it. And of course you never work again. No one ever see you again. You might get dropped in one of those black ops sites or one of those black sites they do and they got in Chicago where they take the kids. You never see them. No one has to report you. Thanks to Obama and Biden. Patriot Act. None of that. Here's the deal, guys. We are not going to pretend. If we're progressive, we got to speak up loud and clear about what's going on. That's why this was easily my most frustrating segment of the night. Watching them carpet out young people, no doubt with PTSD, giving them, what about the horrible care the vets got? What about the horrible care they get up to this day? What about all the vets that died waiting to be seen by a doctor? What about all of them? A nice crisp flag folded. And we ain't no freer. Neither are the people we're supposedly fighting for. Because at the end of the day, we're fighting for money. And you better believe it. But hey, it's not all bad. I mean, it was a nice produced segment. I mean, it was, it was clear. You could hear it. Polished. It was professional. The imagery was stunning. Moving even. If it only weren't a crock of shit. And speaking of crocks of shit,
Biden lived a life of service, in office and in uniform. When you put your life on the line for this country, you do it not because it's the country you live in, but because it's a country you believe in. I believe in this country because America, uniquely, holds the promise of a place where everyone can belong.
But things got worse. In fact, this was the huge dagger. This right here, it was like somebody reached in my chest, man. Pinched my nipple, ripped through my chest, grabbed my heart, bit it. Said, hey, I need some mustard. Give me some mustard. Got somebody to give him some mustard and some hot sauce, and then put it on there, lavished it, slathered it all over my heart. I'm still looking. I'm still alive, right? And they just took another bite and said, needs sauerkraut. That's how I felt, man, this next segment, man. It's everything wrong in the world for Bernie supporters.
Cory Booker, welcome to everybody at home. I am very excited to present to you a group of people that ran in the 2020 Democratic primary against Joe Biden. You could think of this sort of like Survivor on the out interviews of all the people that got voted off the island. Bernie, don't you laugh, because I got questions for you. Like, why does my girlfriend like you more than she likes me? But let's move on.
Because she's smarter than you, and that's the obvious answer, right?
Hey, I'm curious because Senator Sanders and Senator Klobuchar, you actually served with Joe Biden in the Senate. I'm wondering if you have any memories of what he was like as a colleague in the Senate.
Well, I remember one night when I was giving one of those floor speeches, and Cory, you know what this is like. No one was there. No one was watching. I was all alone, and I gave my speech with much vigor to a completely empty chamber. And I walked out of there, and I thought, I wonder if my mom was even watching this on C-SPAN. And at that moment, the cell phone rings, and I actually thought maybe my mom was watching it on C-SPAN. And you know who it was? It was Joe Biden. And that kind of goes to not only his kindness for calling me and being a mentor, but it also goes to how much he cares about our government and what people are saying, and that even when he's at home at night, he's watching and he cares.
But Amy, we all want to know, did your mother watch the speech?
I know.
You remember the steak fry when we were waiting to go on? It worked out to where I was there the same time he was. And he pulled me aside at one point and he pointed to somebody who we both knew who was working on my campaign, but he'd known from before, and let me know that was somebody who'd gone through a family tragedy that Joe somehow knew about, and just thought it was important for me to know that about someone who was working with me. And I thought, over time I realized that was just basic to who he is, but that always stuck with me.
Elizabeth, do you have any remembrances as well?
I think the day I saw Joe the clearest was on the 1-year anniversary of the Boston Marathon bombing. And everyone, of course, was enormously honored to have the vice president here. But at some point in that speech, he shifted to the parent who had lost a child, to the man who had lost a wife, to someone who had experienced loss very personally. And he spoke to each of the families from the heart.
That's phenomenal. I want to ask,
It's like somebody just took a ball-peen hammer to my testicles. Bernie Sanders, I have defended you, sir. I have stood up for you. I mean, two things. First thing is, you're funny. Funny. You showed very clearly that you are cognitively better, more in shape, more prepared to be president than Joe Biden any day, which only makes this more frustrating and more painful to watch Joe Biden be Christianed like a ship tonight. The other thing number two. I mean, it's one thing to bow down and kiss the ring. It's another thing to shine it. It's another thing to break into the store, steal the ring, and deliver it on a pillow to your mistress. It's another thing to carry it in your bowels to avoid detection by police or cavity search, just to smuggle it into the coffers of Joe Biden to give him the ring. I mean, I don't know. How can I explain this, Bernie Sanders? Like I expected of everyone else. I expect them all to do it, not you. You're better than that, man. Man, play sick. Say you need another stint. Anything. Get the hell out of there. On the upside, Klobuchar was better. She didn't talk about the snow, okay? She didn't talk about snow. I couldn't even make you sit through Andrew Yang saying the same thing he said earlier without saying anything or better or work. I ain't want to put you through that. Jazz hands himself. Well, I believe that we as Americans have to become bigger, taller, stronger. Let me jump up on the table and tell you about the time that I am Keanu Reeves of the Democratic Party. You're not a politician anymore. You're a guy just got a lot of money who don't need to work for a living. Why? Once again, I'm going to say it. Where's Nina Turner? Where's Dr. Cornel West? Where's Ilhan Omar? Where is Rashida Tlaib? Where is Jamal Bowman? Where is Cory Bush? There's so many others. Where's Bob King? Well, he was already there, so I can't say him. But there's all these other. All right, so. Okay. I said, well, you know what? As bad as that was, fine. Okay, it's over now. I'm good. It's day 4. It's almost over. Sure, kick a guy when he's down on the ground, bleeding, stomp on his face, curb stomp him. Fine. I survived. I'm alive. To speak another day, fine. It's almost over. I'll get through this. There can be nothing else that will piss me off. My blood pressure can't take it. I'm black. I got diabetes probably. Everybody black is pre-diabetic. I don't need this in my life, man. And then it happened. Just when I thought I'm out, they pull me back in.
Good evening. I've never been much for partisan politics. I've supported Democrats, Republicans, and independents. Hell, I've actually been a Democrat, Republican, and independent. It's all about people. And the 2 people running for president couldn't be more different. One believes in facts, one does not. One listens to experts, the other thinks he knows everything.
That's right. They didn't have time to let Senator Nina Turner speak, or Dr. Cornel West, or any of the other great people that I talked about that could have been able to speak. Hell, give me a Michael Moore and a Spike Lee to go. Something, someone. I mean, hell. But to rub Louisiana hot sauce in an open wound, you bring in Michael Bloomberg? Hell, I hate this guy almost as much as I hate John Kasich. Michael Bloomberg? This sexual harasser? Michael Bloomberg, who was confronted on the stage, outed to the world as a horrible, bigoted bastard. You put that guy up and you give him an opportunity to speak? I'm Michael Bloomberg. I'm not much for parties. I don't care about parties. I buy my politicians on both sides of the aisle. I've got more money than God. So I don't care what your politics is. Harold, raise my chair. Thank you, Harold. Back to what I was saying. Sylvia, lower my chair. Thank you. You can go. Back what I was saying about my money. I believe in spending money to buy politicians and buying elections and buying workers. Of course, they'll let me speak, Tim Black, you dumb black. I hired 300 blacks, made them sell their souls, only to lay them off early with no benefits. Hey, you got to keep the iPad. Go Joe. Yeah, that's kind of what happened. And okay, fine. So this is what I'm saying. The whole point is that they don't care enough to even disguise their bullshit. Michael Bloomberg is giving them money. Money. That's all this is about. Money. And when you say what we want you to say, well, I was thinking maybe, oh, that's it, we'll get someone else. That's what they do. These people are buying a spot. Michael Bloomberg bought a spot. He bought a spot. He bought a spot in the election. He bought a spot on the debate stage. And he buys a spot at the DNC Convention because the Democratic Party is for sale. Now, I'm not saying, hey, whoa. I'm not saying the Republican Party ain't for sale. Okay, because they damn sure are. How the hell you think Betsy DeVos became your Secretary of Education? She's the most uneducated person I know. She's like school on Sunday. But they like setting up this paradigm, this narrative where there's a good guy and a bad guy. There ain't no good guy, bad guy. Two bad guys. Two corporate sellout parties. They're the same thing. Just one has a blue tie, one has a red tie. And then you got the Green Party and they have tie-dye. But you get what I'm saying. This is what we're dealing with, man. Any party that puts Michael Bloomberg up there and basically says, hey, it's a free-for-all, just goes to prove the point that this whole week of DNC propaganda, all the corporate media as they sell your dreams about what the Democratic Party means and what this election means, they're not telling you the whole truth. The whole truth is, yes, Donald Trump is dangerous, but so is Joe Biden. And the Republican Party is heartless, but so is the Democratic Party. There are no good guys. This ain't a movie. That ain't Spielberg. That's Bloomberg, dummy. What else? Well, I was very happy to see that the time was ticking and it was almost over. Only would have to endure the last, the man of the hour. Well, he was late, so the man of the hour that should have been the man of the hour, Joe Biden.
That in America, everyone, and I mean everyone, should be given an opportunity to go as far as their dreams and God-given ability will take them. We can never lose that. In times as challenging as these, I believe there's only one way forward. As a united America, united in our pursuit of a more perfect union, united in our dreams of a better future for us and for our children, united in our determination to make the coming years bright. Are you ready? I believe we are. This is a great nation. We're a good and decent people. For Lord's sake, this is the United States of America. And there's never been anything we've been able to accomplish.
Them mofo said, this is the United States of America. There's never been anything we've been able to accomplish. Now, I know it's not a big deal. He meant to say there hasn't been anything we haven't been able to accomplish. But I'm just saying, it does make me laugh. He's always trying to convince me of some shit that's not true. You know, like himself caring about people, so empathetic, learn so many things from death. If you learn so much from death, Joe, you wouldn't kill so many brown people. You wouldn't lock up so many black people. And you damn sure wouldn't make us sit through your bad speeches. Oh, but don't get me wrong, he finished kind of strong on this one. I mean, this was only the most important speech of his life.
If I'm your president, on day one, we'll implement the national strategy I've been laying out since March. We'll develop and deploy rapid tests with results available immediately. We'll make the medical supplies and protective equipment that our country needs. And we'll make them here in America, so we will never again be at the mercy of China or other foreign countries in order to protect our own people. We'll make sure our schools have the resources they need to be open, safe, and effective. We'll put politics aside. We'll take the muzzle off our experts so the public gets the information they need and deserve. Honest, unvarnished truth. They can handle it. We'll have a national mandate to wear masks, not as a burden, but as a patriotic duty to protect one another. In short, we'll do what we should have done from the very beginning. Our current president has failed in his most basic duty to the nation. He's failed to protect us. He's failed to protect America. And my fellow Americans, that is unforgivable.
I don't even know where to begin, guys. I mean, did he say mandate masks? You had me at mandate masks. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, we really can't wear masks. Are we really going to have this conversation? Are we really going to quibble over this? You need to wear a mask, you dumbass. At least you could do. I mean, it's just so easy. It's $5 for $50. Why not do it? you might still get sick, but at least you can say, hey, I wore the mask. Joe Biden's talking about PPE, personal protective equipment, manufacturing the equipment. Hey, I don't know if you noticed or not, I really want to get back to normal. I really don't want to catch COVID-19. I really don't want my neighbors to catch COVID-19. I don't want my parents to catch it. I don't want you to catch it. I don't want anybody to catch it. I want us to make it through 2020 to 2021 and beyond. Now, I don't know if Joe Biden is going to be good at anything. I really don't. In fact, this election is not about Joe Biden. It's about surviving Joe Biden and surviving Donald Trump. And I don't think either one of those guys need 4 years. They damn sure don't need more than 4 years. So I sit here now and I'm like, wow. Why come Trump couldn't at least say wear a damn mask? That's what's going to decide this election, for a lot of people. I mean, except for the people who think that the COVID-19 is a flu or a cold and everybody died of foot fungus. Most people are going to hinge their bets on this COVID-19 and who's responding to it. I mean, this whole thing has been a slap in the face. This entire process, everything, all of it. Looking back at the last 4 days, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed with any of it. And it all comes down to this. Day 4, Biden accepts a nomination. He gives an unstinky speech at the very end about COVID-19. And I don't feel good about him. But he's your guy. Notice I said your guy. I'm moving to Belarus. Hell, I can't even find Belarus on the map. Who am I fooling? Here goes the tweet that the Biden campaign sent out right after that. It's with great honor and humility that I accept this nomination for President of the United States of America. Very rarely in this Democratic convention did anyone mention poverty. Did it mention police brutality? Did it mention police reform, criminal justice reform, legalizing cannabis? Did they mention environmental justice? No. So many things were left out. Did they talk about ending wars? Not even a hint of ending wars. They just talked about, well, if we're going to send you to war, we'll try to give you a bucket to pee in when you come back. And that's pretty much all it's been about. Avoiding discussing anything of importance. That's the modus operandi of the Democratic Party and of the Democratic Convention. To pretend that they care, to pretend that these issues that you and I care about matter to them when they really don't. Because you wanting legalizing of cannabis, you wanting the end of police state, you wanting to demilitarize the police, that means give those 50% of states' budgets, give that money to things that educate people, that help people, not just lock people up. If you're giving half of a state's budget directly to police departments and crime is still horrible, maybe you need to do something else. But the Democratic Party really doesn't feel that way. And more importantly, the people that they're trying to attract into the Democratic Party don't feel that way. They want you progressives to be so pissed off that you drop out of the process. Then they could just continue to sit by Panera Breads and Starbucks and try to catch Republicans going inside and outside and try to get one of them to vote for them. I mean, that's really what this is all about at the end of the day. They don't want us, man. They don't want us. But you know what? It ain't about what they want. It's about what you and I want. What I want is clean air I can breathe, a school I can send my kids where I don't have to worry about them getting shot, a place where my parents can retire, health care for all of us so that we can afford to get sick, and maybe we could afford to do what I'm doing now without the fear that if I catch an illness, me and my family have to live outdoors because we have no coverage. Yeah, I know what you're going through. I'm going through it too. The Democratic Party doesn't care about that, no more than the Republican Party does. Now, I'm not saying I'm walking away because I'm not in to walk away from. But what I'm saying is, it's time people wake up and stop pretending and stop lying to themselves. And at least stop lying to us. Stop pretending we're purists when all we want is for our kids to have health coverage. Stop saying we're purists just because we want to stop dropping bombs on brown people, poor brown people. Stop telling us that we're purists because we demand to know, hey, did that vote really count? Hell, I get a receipt when I go to McDonald's. We got instant replay in football. There's no way to check the tape. Stop calling me a purist just because I would like for the voting record of the people that I elect to actually reflect my values and what I care about. You know, the Republicans, they hold their candidates up to scrutiny. The Democrats, when you hold them up to scrutiny, they call you the problem. They call you a purist. They call you a Trump supporter. No Republicans call other Republicans Democrats when they ask them, hey, why are your track records so sucky? No, when we question the track record, the voting record of Democratic politicians, they give us lip. And people like Bill Maher chastise us and say, what you going to do, vote for Trump? It's such backhanded BS like that that creates the movement, and that's a good thing because we need a movement right now. We need all hands on deck. So as frustrated as you are right now, now's not the time to walk away. It's your time to get engaged. Let's do it, guys. We really got no choice. You have no choice. I have no choice. We know what's going on. Too late. You figured it out. Now what? You can't go back to sleep. You can't unsee what you saw. You can't unknow what you know. So let's all get engaged and let's give them hell. Because in my heart of hearts, what I believe, the real reason why this shit has been allowed to prevail so long, this distilling, the corruption, the backstabbing, the lying, it's been able to live so long because people are more concerned with their own personal success than the success of the collective. They're more concerned with their money. They're more concerned with their status. They're more concerned with their career opportunities, and they're not concerned with the overall good. If everyone told the truth, then more people would be awoke, and if more people were awoke, we'd be able to fight back. And I'm talking about conservatives, liberals, progressives, socialists, democratic socialists, everybody. I don't believe that everybody's so cynical and everybody's so bigoted and everybody's so closed off. I think people are misinformed because that's the way they want it. And it stays that way because people are too damn selfish to give up their lap of luxury in these positions of power, who have the microphone, who have the pulpit, who have the reach, who don't want to tell the truth. That's why it's going on. That's why it exists. MLK, he didn't just die. He has his brains blown out because he was willing to speak out. Until more of us are willing to get our brains blown out, we're going to continue to have the same shit. Follow me here, Real Tim Black on Facebook and Twitter. I'm Tim Black at Night on Instagram. Like Dr. Cornel West says, we all got to die. It's all about what you do before the worms get you. Peace, Johnson. If people were willing to speak up and tell the truth, everyone at one time, we could do it. But you know what happens, as it does with all revolutions. Someone snitches. We're only as strong as our weakest link. And what do? They cave in. Most of them cave in without even being paid off. They just cave in hopes that some good things come their way. They sell us all out. They sell out their mama, their kids, their grandbabies, everyone, in the sheer outside hope that they'll get something and they won't be put on the list to not get something. Well, I say damn that, Johnson. I say damn it. That's why we can't. It's not that the system, people think the system's unbreakable. They think there's no hope. No, there's hope. But we have turncoats and sellouts who are willing to say whatever just to help themselves.